Hey everybody, it's Mike. So I would like to address the borderlines, people who have borderline personality disorder who come onto my channel. Um, I made this channel in January, New Year's. Oh my God, I forgot. New Year's, that's when it all came crashing down. That's when I started making this channel. Anyway, um, New Year's, January of 2020, I started making this channel, and I did it specifically to help myself recover from my codependent attachment to a woman whom I believe has very serious borderline personality disorder. So this channel is dedicated to is directed to those people, to non-borderlines who are seeking to heal from what they've experienced as a very traumatic event. And yeah, it's very traumatic because the disease of borderline personality disorder is a really awful disease. The mental disease, sorry, whatever you want to call it whatever you want. Um, but it is really awful. And it is horrible for the borderline, to be sure. And it is also damaging to people who get close to borderlines. So I am addressing people who are not borderline who are seeking to recover. Having said that, some people with borderline personality disorder have come on to the channel, and I seem to be subscribing. A few of them have told me that they are appreciating it and it's helping them. I'm very grateful for that. I'm mindful of that. I stay mindful. I try to stay mindful of that now with every video that I make. Trying to be completely honest about my experience, my opinion, because it is my opinion, on what borderline personality disorder is and what's going on in the mind of borderlines. Now, because I'm not a borderline and because I am not a therapist or a psychologist or a psychiatrist or a mental health expert, I'm going to be wrong. And that's okay with me. I'll learn as I go. I'm putting time in and learning more and studying more. I also think that I have a viewpoint and an understanding that is unique in that I do think that I have some understandings and some intuitions that mental health professionals either can't talk about because that's a science. Until they've proven something, they can't really say what it is. Here's what we know. They can't really talk about what they don't know. So feelings and intuitions that you have based on experience isn't something that they can talk about. They have to be clinical and talk about this, and this. So because I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or a mental health professional, and because I am somebody who is and has achieved a state of recovery from BPD codependence, I can give an insight that the professionals might not be able to give because they don't have it. But I also think that I have some awarenesses of how the thing works on an emotional level that they might miss because they're trying to find the hard and cold facts, and I'm coming from my feelings and my interactions. But I could be wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong and then change my mind. If I find out I was wrong about something and I become aware of it, I'll be happy to change that. My main goal is if it works. I'm more interested in not necessarily being accurate as I am, does this make my life better and other people's lives better? It's sort of like, believing in the afterlife. Does that help you or not? If it helps you to live a better life, whether it's true or not is not the point. The one thing that is true that I know is that borderline personality disorder is a mental illness, and it is a horrific mental illness that I don't understand. And I wouldn't wish it on anybody. So with that in mind, there has been all kinds of responses. I get nasty responses from codependents also who are I think they're in their disease and they're regressed and whatever. Everybody's doing their best. I mean, really, even on this channel, even if I reflect back to you your denial or codependence or your passive aggressiveness or aggressiveness, if I reflect that back to you, this is going to sound so cheesy. It's coming from a place of love. I forgot what I was going to say, but anyway, let's move on. So I want to respond. Oh, I was going to say that I've been getting all kinds of different comments. I've been getting, of course, there's the borderlines that have come on in the beginning, which I find usually when you start something, that's when you really get the worst. And then the worst of the bullies tend to leave once they see you're not going anywhere. But at first I just got really aggressively attacked by people who are obviously borderlines. Why don't you step in front of a bus and get it over with? Stop complaining, that kind of stuff. And then there's been the codependents who have not liked at all me pointing out that they are responsible. They don't like being told that they're not a helpless victim. And so they've been aggressive and very passive aggressive. And then there's been borderlines who seem to be getting something out of the channel. I think a lot of them are taking it with a grain of salt. I get the sense, I could be wrong, but I get the sense that some of them know that I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's okay because whatever I'm doing is helpful to them in whatever ways is none of my business. But there are some borderlines who come on and, like codependents do also, want to try and control what I say and how I say it. And so I want to address that. Again, this place is not designed for borderlines. You are definitely welcome here, but it isn't designed for you. So if it doesn't fit for you and it doesn't work for you, go where you find the help. Because I'm not here to cure borderlines. I'm here to help codependents, non-borderlines, find their recovery. And it's great if we can all recover together. It's really beautiful. I'm really surprised about what has been happening. So there's somebody here, I won't get into it too much into the person, but somebody says that they have borderline personality disorder and it's a day-to-day fight for every breath, and I totally believe that. And then suggests that I go to another YouTube channel, and then the real truth comes out. Then the person says, because you have no idea what borderline personality disorder is. Mental health has a lot of stigma as it is. It's hard for us to get up every day and not feel like we have to feel sorry for just being alive. And then this person went on to say that whatever my video was really traumatic for them and made them feel hopeless and all that kind of, and that's certainly not my intention. But I also know that when it comes to, sometimes it's unavoidable. There are things that I'm going to say. I can't monitor every single thought I have with the fear that I might push somebody's buttons, because nobody heals that way. So I chose not to go watch that other channel because I'm not here to, whatever that person is doing is what they're doing. And I think that's great. And if you gave me the link to that channel because you like that, then watch that channel, please. I would do whatever the hell I could to help anybody recover from this. But one of the things that I can't do is modify myself to meet your needs or your desires. That wouldn't be fair to you. You may want me to do things your way, but that's not fair to you or me, and I'm not gonna do that. And this is true for everybody. I believe it's true for borderlines. I don't know what they need to recover. It makes sense to me. I think this is helpful for them. It's definitely true for non-borderlines, that you can't control other people. And just because you have an impulse or a feeling or a reaction to something somebody says or does, that's your responsibility. It doesn't mean they're not responsible. If somebody goes out of their way to harm you, that's one thing. I'm not going out of my way to harm anybody. So if I say or do something that makes you feel depressed or sad, please stop watching my channel. I'm not saying that like get the hell out of here. I'm saying for your health, don't come here. Because if this one video made you feel horrible, there's going to be other ones that are going to also make you feel horrible, not because I want you to feel bad, but because the nature of it and the way I'm sharing my experience is probably going to be challenging for you to experience. It's going to be painful for you. But it is an important lesson for both codependents and borderlines that the other person is not responsible for the impulse that comes out of you. Your reaction to somebody else's thoughts and feelings is not their responsibility, it's yours. So I would say to you that you need to be responsible for your own health. And you need to be responsible if you come onto my channel. If you choose to keep coming on here because you're wanting help, just bear in mind, I'm not here to help borderlines. I am here to help partners of borderlines, and we have really strong feelings about how being with a borderline has affected us. And it's we spent sometimes years being in relationships hiding our feelings so as not to provoke or hurt the borderline. So if you're going to come here, you're going to see raw experiences from me and from others about how we feel damaged by the disease of borderline personality disorder. Understand, I don't blame you for that. If I say something that, like for instance, if I say something along the lines of, borderlines will, if they're untreated, meaning they're not in therapy, they will split on you, they will devalue you, and they will do it in the worst possible way. It is guaranteed. There's nothing you're going to gain from that relationship. That doesn't mean I'm saying you're a bad person. I'm talking about the effects of the disease. And again, I get very emotional when I think about it because it's horrible. And so I have nothing but empathy and sympathy for what you must deal with. But what your disease does to you, it also does to those of us that are close to you. And we may talk about you in a way like the borderline does this and the borderline that. And you'll have to forgive us because we've been through a lot of trauma. And understand that we are united with you in wanting you to be free of the torture that you have to go through. So having said that, please feel free to come on the channel. If it's helpful for you, you're absolutely welcome. If it's not, please do yourself a favor and don't come on this channel and watch it, because if you're triggered by something I've said, you're going to get triggered again and again, because I'll keep doing things I think is helpful for the channel. So that's it. Having said that, to anybody and everybody, if you want to, the tiny little borderline over here is crying. She needs your help. The way you can help her is by mousing over and subscribing. Then she won't cry anymore. All right. I got emotional again. All right, that's it for me, guys. I will talk to you all very soon.